From 3 News Now and the Omaha World-Herald, this is Omaha Sunday Morning with Jennifer Griswold.
This week on Omaha Sunday Morning, a movement is brewing, and it's starting with local elected officials. The goal to teach a new generation of young women they are welcome at the table. Plus, being teased in his teens left a Bellevue man feeling alone and self-conscious. From that came a journey that took years but completely transformed his life. And a little boy on a mission to spread kindness made a stop in Omaha this week. His goal to let police officers know they are appreciated. Good morning and thanks for joining us. I'm Jennifer Griswold. A grand opening this week marked a new chapter for a popular Omaha restaurant. A gas leak in the old market sparked a fire that destroyed M's Pub. From the beginning, they vowed to rebuild, and this week they welcomed back customers who have patiently waited. The Omaha World-Herald takes us back to the night of the fire and the journey to get the doors back open.
Fire and rescue.
Hi, there was a fire and explosion at M's Pub down in the old market.
At about 2:50 this afternoon, a fire alarm was called in for M's Pub. It was reported as a building fire.
Is anything on fire?
Yes, there is a fire outside the restaurant.
We heard this boom. We saw the flames coming up before the fire department was there. There was a strong smell of gas, even all the way down on Jackson Street, which is about a block and a half away still.
All right, do you know if anybody was inside the building?
I do not know. I know that the apartments next door vacated. Everyone is outside or coming outside. I do not know about the restaurant itself.
We just had an explosion here. We had a natural gas line, we believe.
I think they knew that there was a possibility of an explosion and wanted to keep everybody safe. But obviously, naturally, everyone wanted to see what was going on, so there were a lot of people around.
Anybody willing to talk?
They thought they'd had it under control and turned off the gas, but they turned off some of the wrong mains, our reporting later showed. And flames had spread all the way to the top of the building and were shooting out the top.
It was a massive fire, but it's hard to see that from the ground. A gentleman was willing to let me come up into his apartment and take some pictures out the window, and was able to see from above just the massive damage that had already been done to the building, and the firefighters working to spray it down as dusk was starting, which made it even colder.
It was dark. The building was starting to be covered in more and more ice. We're getting the sense from reporters and what they were gathering, and from other editors that were talking with us, that the building could collapse. My worries is, you know, for a business like M's Pub, like, how do you recreate the magic that was there? Things never are quite the same.
It has been a long time coming. Yeah, and now that it's here, it sort of feels like the fire maybe never really happened. It's just we're right back into the swing of things, and familiar faces and happy people and good food, and so it's been a great day.
The difference is personally, because I went through it all, but the vibe's still there and the magic is still there, and it looks almost identical, you know, besides the addition or anything like that. Yeah, it really looks almost like, seriously, like even the oldness and it's all new, it looks still kind of old and has that character. It's just, I just think it's iconic, you know, in Omaha.
They still remember us. And we remember them. It looks just like it did. It's beautiful. I'm so glad to be back.
It really does look so similar. The owners used the original plans from 1972 as a guide during that rebuilding process. Just great to see. The Omaha Police Mounted Patrol is growing by 3 horses. Woodman Life is donating $15,000 to make it all possible, and in return, Omaha is allowing them to name one of the horses. There are 7 names in the running: Pratt, Wilson, Schmidt, Flanagan, Florence, Blue, and Valor. The public got a chance to vote. That ended Friday. Coming up on Wednesday, they will announce the winning name. An Omaha building with a story all its own sat closed for years in disrepair. Many thought it was the end of the Dundee Theater, but then Film Streams came along and decided to give it a sequel, if you will, building off the past and securing a future. After a massive renovation project, it is almost time for the big premiere. 3 News Now reporter Lindsay Thies got a sneak peek.
Well, work has really been nonstop. You can see they're still working right now as we were getting our tour this morning. It's something that the folks at Film Stream say they are so excited about as the Dundee Theater gets closer to reopening day.
The screens should be going up pretty soon.
As cars race along busy Dodge Street, days race by as crew members wash, cut, and paint inside the Dundee Theater. Outside, they paint and hang signage in a parking lot that contractors had to expand as part of the $8.3 million renovation.
This will be the main entrance.
Yeah, this will be the main entrance. So this is going to have some seating that's going to be out here, this patio area.
Casey Logan, Film Stream's deputy director, showed us inside the 300-seat theater. They just installed new blue plush seats in and restored some original molding.
So some of those were in good shape, and then what they did was basically just take like a mold of the ones that are in good shape, and then they built back up.
In here, everything from digital to Blu-ray to 35mm films will be projected. They'll also be able to project all of that in 16mm film in a 25-seat micro cinema. Something that Logan says will also be great for film classes and educational programming too.
Different subjects. It might be a director, it might be, a particular genre or an aesthetic.
It's a mix of new and old. Take this terrazzo tile, for example. The gray tile is new. The colorful pieces next to it, 92 years old. There's still a lot of work to be done here.
We've heard so many stories, first date or like first job and that sort of thing. And so there are all these connections to this building. They really are these sort of shared experiences, these shared places, and once they go away, there's no real replacing them.
And we have even more coverage on the theater, including fun finds during that renovation process. That's online at 3newsnow.com.